That's it.
Tunes.
Awesome. Awesome. Hey guys, I'm just sliding into home base at the last possible second. It's been that kind of a morning, and I am still wearing my gym shirt apparently. So deal with that. How is everyone today? You guys doing good?
Great.
Yeah. Cool. Sign me
Awesome.
up. Great. What do you guys want to talk about today? I've got exactly no content at all. I've been dealing with technology today. Can you believe that? I've been dealing with technology. Yeah. Call the press.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I see. What was that, Missy?
Hi.
Oh my goodness. Hey, how are you, sweetie? Hey, Pauline. And who's that with you
Hello,
there?
hi. That's my grandson, Caleb.
Oh,
Oh.
welcome. Glad you're here. All right. In fact, let's take a look at these awesome peoples that I get to hang out with every day. How lucky am I? Look at this. We got Sean, Missy, Maria. Good to see you. There's Denny and Bucknose. Hey, good to see you. Leslie, Rosemary, Judith. Hello, Nancy. Wow. More people than I could even. Everyone, welcome to all of you. Laura's driving. Laura, drive safe. Okay. Very good. Hey, Cecilia, with your mask. I see you. Okay. Jayden, you've got your hand up. Jayden, you have a comment?
I was just going to ask for some suggestions. You said, what should we talk about? So I thought I had an idea.
Yes.
How do we deal with other people's inefficiencies? Any on that will be really great.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Don't call him the Italian way.
Okay. Okay. How do we deal with other people's inefficiencies? Like, it's hard to find good help these days, isn't it? I mean, you know, you want something done right, you got to do it yourself, don't you? I mean, yeah. Let's take that up. Let's take. Oh, Judith says, how long do you have? LOL. Okay. Okay. Let's take that up. That's good stuff. I'm going to go ahead and mute the mics. I got a little bit of background noise. Here we go. Okay, great. So, we are live, right? Yes, we are. So hello to all of our friends who are tuning in on YouTube, either live or recorded. We are glad you're here. How do we deal with other people's inefficiencies? Here we go. So I have multiple businesses that I run, and some I have my hands in more than others. There are some things which I and only I can do in that function as the, let's say, the executive, the person who makes the decisions, or the person who does something in such a specific and unique way that nobody else can do it that way, right? So those are things that are low leverage, high production, but low leverage activities. Okay. Now, anything that I can delegate, or any machinery that I can put in place that would create leverage. In other words, I personally don't have to do the thing, especially if it's a repetitive thing. Well, now I'm getting leverage. Those could be considered high leverage activities, some of which don't require me to even show up, right? In the case of like delegating, here's an employee, or here's, automated machinery on the internet or whatever, right? In fact, all of us are going to be doing both. We're going to be doing high leverage and low leverage actions. All right. So both are required, especially at the outset. A lot of it's going to be low leverage because you're just building things up. All right. So that makes sense so far. Great. Now, the things that I'm delegating out, or that I'm paying an employee to do, these are things where they've obviously got to be qualified to earn their keep. Right. So that's an important thing. And by the way, if you just look at what we're doing here with the low hanging system, in case anyone's new here and you're wondering if this is like, is this Rachel's, e-commerce deal that she runs out of her mother's basement or something? No, we've got an entire staff like all over the world. It is all hands on deck, especially with all the new members. It's been mayhem around here. We've got accountability reps. And they know their post. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, is knowing your post. They know their post better than I do. I don't know that post. Right? They're dealing with thousands of inbound and outbound emails and text, and who needs to get on the step of the thing, and who needs to book a session with John. Right? Thank goodness that they are good at that, and they like doing that. And the two kind of go hand in hand. Interest renders aptitude. You're never going to excel at something you're not, interested in, or hopefully even passionate about. Right? I'm not interested. Like I dropped out of trigonometry when I was in high school. I had no aptitude for it. and I wasn't interested in it. Like, when am I going to use this in my life? I'm a wordsmith. I'm into language and philosophy and stuff. You're showing me trigonometric, equations and stuff. I'm out. I'm out. All right. That was actually a good decision for me. Other people, trigonometry. Yeah, we're going to go engineer bridges or whatever you do with trigonometry. I don't know. Okay. Not my thing. And to this day, here's the thing. Jayton and everyone, you get good at the things that your strengths, right? You operate within your zone of genius. You can pay people to do trigonometry. You can delegate. You can say, oh, you go handle that. You like that? I don't like that. You like that. Go do that. Some of you are doing that right now with things like prime corporate services, setting up entities and things that I'm just not interested, right? But you guys like doing it. Here, have some money. Go do it. So, but the question of efficiency comes up. Bamadeli, I'm going to go ahead and mute your mic for you. You got a little noise there. All right. So the question of efficiency comes up. I'm going to attack this from two different directions. Okay. So the first thing is what I already mentioned, which is knowing your post. Okay. So let's say you've got a ship, right? Here's like a warship or something, right? A Navy. And you've got people on post. And here's the captain. And what is that? That's an executive decision maker, right? That's the ultimate decision maker, the CEO of that enterprise, if you will, of that organization. And the first mate is, second in command. And then you've got the deckhands. They know how to run the lines, right? When we're docking up to the dock, right? Or we're, coming together with another vessel. The cook, these guys got to eat, right? All right. So the cook and et cetera. You get the point. The medic, the gunner, the whatever the posts are on the ship. And there's many posts. Now you're new on post. So what do you get to experience? Training, hopefully, right? Training. So some of you know, and now all of you will know, I used to be a diesel engineer on a tugboat fleet out of New York Harbor. Okay. Up by, so you New Yorkers and New Jerseyers over there, right? So we were running tugboats, which, in case you don't know what that is a whole lot of machinery on a very heavy boat, a very strong, powerful boat that can now move ships and barges and manipulate things that cannot maneuver well. They're a big ship, right? Big ocean liner. They can't get onto the dock. They can't get through the rocks, right? So the tugboats are what move those things around. So lots of power in a small space. And I was the engineer, right? I know a lot about that machinery. Okay. So by the way, those are the same engines they use in trains. So locomotive engines, diesel locomotives, that's it. That's the kind of engines we were running. So why am I mentioning all that? Most of you probably don't know what it looks like in the engine room of a tugboat or a train, for that matter. Okay. You'd see this big monstrosity of a machine and be like, Now, some of you know more than others, right? Because why? You've had some training, but I went through specific training for a year to understand and to man that post. In other words, to be able to accept and execute the responsibility. There's the R word that usually gets people running in the other direction. Responsibility for that machinery, which is millions and millions of dollars worth of machinery. Okay. Now, what if I didn't know my post? Now we're getting into inefficiency, right? Well, I got to call the hotline now and get advice on how to get the engine with the oil, feed and all that. No, I damn well better know my post. Just like the captain damn well better know his post. In fact, he knows it enough that we're coming to harbor. We need a pilot. We need, somebody to know who knows where the rocks are. I don't know. All right. I just came from Turkey or something, right? We're rolling into New York City. Get the tugboat crew out here, right? That's not my post. I'm the captain. I'm not the pilot. The pilot is like a captain specialist just for that area of water. They know every rock. They know everything. And they are on the line with the tugboat captains telling you, you full ahead, you full astern, right? So all these posts have to come together for this to run efficiently. Otherwise, crash and burn, baby, crash and burn, right? So there's the consequence of not knowing your post. So the question then that Jayton introduced is, how do you deal with people who are inefficient, with the inefficiencies of others? First and foremost, you yourself have to be efficient. It's really hard to demand from people that which you're not willing to demonstrate yourself. Does that mean that you know how to do, in my case with some of my businesses, like video editing, right? I know a little bit about video editing, but not nearly as good as that guy. That's his post, right? Okay, that's fine. But the things that I have chosen in my zone of genius are the things where I go full throttle. And so therefore I can make those same demands on the person who is better than I am at doing that thing. And because I've set a level of expectation, I've got standards and they're pretty high, right? Those who intend to be on post in my organization will comply with those standards. Or, there's other things. If they want to just punch a clock and, do enough to not get fired or something at the local whatever, or the internet thing, fine. It's just not my organization. So we have to set our own standards. Now that brings us back to the word efficiency. I don't know how many of you have read. This is going to be super abbreviated, right? So I don't know if what I'm going to tell you right now is going to stick, but it's enormous if you get this, okay? How many of you have read The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, written in 1910? So we're going back, 111 years? Yeah. And one of the things he talked about in that book repeatedly, in fact, he wrote a whole chapter on efficiency. Efficiency. You guys have a copy of that book? No? Hold on. Let's solve this problem right now. Right now. We're going to solve that problem. You got a problem? I got a solution. Hold on. I'm getting you a free copy of this book right now. It's out of copyright, obviously. I'm an author. God forbid I, violate copyright laws. I'm not doing that right now. I'm giving you a book that is in public domain. So, let's see here. Copy Dropbox link. Here comes. Bam. Look at the chat. There is the link. In fact, I'll put it in the YouTube chat as well for our YouTube friends, people down under, people doing the 3 o'clock in the morning thing. Bam. There you go. So that in that book, he wrote a whole chapter on efficiency, actually kind of a chapter and a half. Short book, by the way. You can read it in a day or two. I didn't put it on our initial reading list because it's definitely more of an intense study kind of a thing. Plus the English is a bit older, 1910. People had higher, IQ 100 and something years ago. If you look at a lot of the modern stuff, it's written more simply. Okay. So this is definitely something you want to dig into when you've got focus on it. But the concept here is that efficiency is based on your ability to have focus in your actions on what? And when you read the book, you'll see purpose and faith. Purpose and faith. So there's some like spiritual leanings in the book from like Christian scripture and stuff. So purpose. What is the purpose? I want you to think about that. Inefficiency would be a low level of production, right? So over time, a certain amount of production in a certain amount of time. More production in less time, we call that efficient. Less production in more time, we would call that inefficient. Inefficient. Are there ways that you can delegate, you can leverage, you can get like more high leverage actions coming in? Maybe. Okay. But regardless of what the actions are, whether they're considered high leverage or low leverage, there should be optimal production in the optimal amount of time, as little as possible. That would qualify as more efficient, assuming we're being effective, which is another, hitting the wrong target. I don't care how efficient you are, you're still barking up the wrong tree. I've done that too. Plenty. All right. So assuming we're hitting the right target and we're being effective, well, can we make that more efficient? And he said, yes, every action you do, he said, I'll paraphrase, but this is almost a direct quote. If every action you do is an efficient one, then you must get rich. Then your whole life will be a success. If, on the other hand, every action is inefficient, then you're going to experience failure. It's black and white. Okay, so what does he qualify as efficient? And I know we're going down the philosophical rabbit hole here, but we focus on two things with any action we do, with any post that we're manning, which could also be commanding the other posts for you to go do your job now, right? The two things we focus on are purpose and faith. Purpose, why am I here? Why are we doing this? Why are we showing up in the first place? What's the purpose of this action that I'm about to take? Okay, and it may be a big grand purpose, or it may be a small purpose that fits within your big grand purpose, like to get rich, like to make money unapologetically, and to build your enterprise, your empire. Okay, so we got to remember that purpose. Okay, and then faith, without focusing on the faith, faith in what, by the way? Faith that you can actually accomplish something, right? Faith in yourself, your own abilities, right? And that you're, in some cases, we could say being divinely guided to walk that path, to have that purpose. Faith that your purpose can actually come to be, right? If we don't focus on that, then what do we see? We see all the barriers, all the problems. We take our eyes off the purpose. So faith allows us to continue to focus on the purpose, solve the problems, ignore the distractions, overcome the barriers, because we've got a game that we're playing and it's called Fulfill That Purpose. So in all games, you have purposes and you have the freedom to move around the field and do whatever you can do in that game. And you've got the barriers. Here's what you can do. That could be opponents. That could be the line. You can't cross that line, right? So we got freedoms, barriers, and purposes. Those are the component parts of any game. But all of it comes under your power of choice to play the game or not. So are we on purpose? Are we effective in the choices that we're making? Are we hitting the right targets? And are we focusing more on our freedoms or our barriers? Great question. I'll tell you what most people do. Most people have their barriers right in their face, right here. All they could see is barriers, right? Never mind what they could do. They can step aside, they can go over, they can go through, right? They're encumbered mentally, emotionally, physiologically with barriers. I can't. Which sets up what? A lower standard for yourself. And my goodness, if you buy your own excuses, well, I guess we'll buy everybody else's too. Do I expect you to have high standards when I sit here buying my own excuses? I have actually, and this took a little while for me to come up with, okay, but but I tolerate slowness and inefficiency in my life because of my own habitual willingness to accept my own excuses. I've been reasonable. That's not a compliment, by the way. I've been very reasonable with myself. So why should I hold you to a high standard, right? I mean, if I'm off the hook, well, do whatever you want. And you will, right? People take the path of least resistance. I remember learning this when I was learning how to be a diesel mechanic. We learned about electricity, right? And I remember the instructor said, electricity is a lot like you guys here. You're going to take the path of least resistance. Okay. So if you touch these two wires together, they're going to go there, right? Oh, but if you put a lamp or a motor in between, right? Well, now it has to go through that path and there's some resistance there, but oh, well, that's the path. Okay. But you touch those two wires together and it bypasses the motor and you got a short circuit. Path of least resistance. Here's what Albert Gray said. I know I quoted Albert Gray to you guys when we first met. We talked about the common denominator of success. That was a famous lecture that he gave to a group of Prudential sales managers. And in that lecture, he went on beyond just telling people what the common denominator of success was or is. And he said, look, if you guys are experiencing a slump, inefficiency, as Jayton brought up, inefficiency in your staff, your salespeople, don't get them, competing with each other and doing all this competitive kind of, force and cracking the whip and all this. No, the way to increase production, get these people refocused on their purpose, and production will take care of itself. Remember, think of the components of a game. All right. Why are we showing up here, guys? Right? Why are you here in this office? All right. You got goals? Yeah. How about you? Yeah. Carry forward the mission of the corporation and feed your family and, create some lifestyle. How's that new car, by the way? Yeah. Why are we showing up here again? What are we doing? Well, who are these customers we're serving? What's their problem that we're solving? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's why we're showing up here. Oh, great. What can we do about it? Remember, now we're shifting our gaze from the barriers, the problems, which we all have, to what can we do about it? And this is the question of responsibility, because we talk about inefficiency or efficiency. We're talking about various degrees of responsibility. In other words, cause. What am I able to cause? What part of this can I be responsible for? This is a question that very successful people ask themselves, whether they know it a lot or not. They ask themselves this a lot. What part of this, whatever this is, this problem, this success, this scenario, right? What part of this can I be responsible for? Parents, you ask this every day. Hopefully you do. You may not vocalize it. Okay. But my son, my daughter is making an error. What can I do? What part of that can I be responsible for? How can I influence this person to make better choices? Because they already know everything, right? So we're going to go ahead and hopefully disabuse them of that erroneous belief, right? And let me see how I can communicate that in such a way that they'll be willing to listen. and hopefully avoid some mistakes, which I know they're about to make, right? What part of that can I be responsible for? I cannot move their hand for them, but I can influence them. That's your responsibility, should you choose to accept it. So we ask ourselves that question. And like I was mentioning when Jayton introduced this topic, because I hold myself to a high standard, then the other people who are on post in other areas can also ask themselves that question because they know that's the standard, right? I put you on post because it's your responsibility. What part of this problem can you be responsible for right now? You know, there are organizations where, this is really good stuff, by the way. There are organizations where people, if you've got a problem where you need to go to a superior, right? When you present the problem, you must also present a proposed solution, a theory on how we could solve this problem. Okay, right there, we're more efficient. So now we're thinking on not just the problem, but also the solution. And maybe it's a workable solution. And maybe they need authorization or something. That's fine. But the communication happened. And we talked about more than just the problem. We talked about here's a proposed solution, whether workable or not, which could lead to what? Masterminding. My goodness, what are we doing here right now? Right? So two heads are better than one. We got 60 people listening in, at least 60 live right now, right? Plus everybody else on YouTube. So do you know everything? I don't know everything, but if I did, here's an interesting one. Okay. I don't know what to do. Okay, great. Well, if you did know, what would you do? Oh, well, then if I did know, I would do that. Okay, great. So start asking yourself that question, right? And maybe introduce that to other people who present you with inefficiencies. I don't know what to do. So that could either be a training issue. I don't know my post. Okay, training is in order. All of you here, you don't know your post, right? Unless you've already been doing this for months and you've already got, cash and fist, right? We're newbies. Okay, we're learning our post. Okay, that's fine. So training, right? And then responsibility. And one definite responsibility that we have is to control our own thoughts about it. Because like Waddle said, okay, if every action you do is an efficient one, you must be successful. It has to work. You will get rich. If every action you do is inefficient, you must fail. Must. And his qualifications for efficiency is with each act we take, are we focused on our purpose and faith that we can actually accomplish it? Otherwise, that's an inefficient action. Could be the same exact logistical, touching the buttons or whatever, right? Who's doing it? An efficient person, a person of purpose and faith, and who remembers that, keeps the carrot right in front of them. Don't look at the barriers. Solve the problems. That's fine. Keep looking at the carrot. Keep looking at the carrot. Like Albert Gray said, you want to get people producing, get them focused on purpose. Production handles itself. How long have we been talking? My goodness. Let me stop. Let me stop talking and let you commence talking, because this is not just about me. Although I'm very fascinated to hear what's going to come out of my mouth. Thank you, Jayton. It was all your fault, by the way. Oh my goodness. Who's got some thoughts? Jayton, you've got the floor. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, thank you. I think your point on purpose is really critical.
Mhm.
I think also your point that you made on influencing others is quite key, because there is little that we can do to actually make them do the work other than influence, and especially in the setup that this exists, the way this setup is, right?
Mhm.
I also take note of one of the points that was mentioned on the chat, that yes, we can set our own pace. I take that point as well. I think it's a combination of those things that will probably help to get rid of the inefficiencies. So I'm hoping for that. I think keeping your eye on the outcome or the goals, and I think you mentioned that previously as well last week when we were talking about a separate subject. I think all those points are extremely valid. I think for someone like me who likes to, like you said, your point on standards is also extremely important, because those of us that operate at a certain pace, that operate at a certain standard, tend to have those type of expectations. And when those expectations are not met, the frustration can set in rather quickly. And therefore, it's important to keep the goal and the outcome in mind, because that's what we can control for ourselves. And that's what takes us to the next day. And we start again, I suppose.
Right.
So
Thank you. Thank you, Jayden. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Um, in the case of like employees, like sales teams, I use the example from Albert Gray, Prudential, right? You can put a nice carrot for people, which everyone can qualify for, by the way. When you reach or exceed these standards, we're going to the trip to Mexico. Here's here's the set of steak knives, or some prize, right? You can incentivize and gamify, right? We're talking about a game. We can gamify that, but it takes a little bit more of a you've got to look beyond just yourself, right? You've got to consider the organization and the long range profitability of that, right? So what is it worth to you? Maybe not today or next week, but a year from now, because now your staff is just like, we're getting it done. We're competent. You know what? We don't need you here, Jay, and we got it handled. Oh, thank you. Right. Beautiful stuff. Hey, we've got a couple more peoples here with us. Missy. Hey, Missy. And then Denny. Hey, Missy, you've got the floor. You are muted. Hello, Missy. Missy.
Sorry.
There she is.
I was going to ask about organization, but I think you've answered what my problem was today. I've been organizing since 7:30 this morning, and I found myself, you can't be adrift in weeds, but I lost my purpose. It became about organizing instead of what am I organizing for? Because this led to this and this led to that and this, and I got completely disorganized. And I was so proud of myself that I set the goal, today I am organizing. And I'm in the midst of self-made chaos because I lost my purpose. I think, if that's possible. I mean,
Sure.
I haven't organized to this degree since I've been in college,
Okay.
And that was a while ago. So I expected it to be a little bit of a, but it was
Right.
like a giant mountain. But I think you answered it. I forgot the purpose.
Okay. Well, transformation. Pass the collection basket, everyone. I should put a tip jar. I don't know if they would like me to do that. I could put a tip jar. You guys can give me $1 or something. Oh my goodness. All right, Denny. Denny's got the floor. Hey, Denny.
I just want to say thank you, John. I'm listening to, well, I'm reading, but listening to Millionaire Mind.
Uh-huh.
And whenever I get stuck, with setting up something or whatever, and it's like much, then I take a break and I listen to him, and it's just magic. Thank you so much for that book, because he tells his stuff and I say, oh, okay, I've done it. I'm there. Oh, there's something I got to do. That's my next hit,
Right.
Magic. Thank you so much.
Wow, so welcome. And thank you for being here at 12:30 a.m. on Thursday. Wow.
No, 1:43.
That's what I meant.
Oh.
Yeah, 143. Yeah. All right. So, by the way, I know you as Denise, and now I see Denny. Or do you like Denny? Like, how do I say Denny?
Denny. I've just
Denny,
dropped
okay.
the S and the E, and I did it because we had another Denise. And in any case, my friends call me Denny.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Very good.
And
Now I know.
Yeah.
Now I know. Very good. So we're gonna have lots of Denises here. Lots. Of Denises.
Yeah, it's a good name. You know what it means?
Yeah.
Do you know what
Denise? It means you.
It's Denise is the Greek goddess of wine and raucous living.
Wow.
Yeah, that's rough.
Now we know. Yeah. We're all enlightened now. Thank you. You know what my name means? Well, John is, I guess, from Hebrew, right? And so, like, all that. But Lavinia, Italian, venire, to come. So my name is The Coming. Sounds terribly auspicious. The Coming.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, great. All right. My ego likes that. Okay. Very good. Thank you, Denis. And let's go to Cynthia. Hey, Cynthia, you've got the floor.
Hello. I really appreciate the timeliness of this discussion today as well. Thank you, Jayden, for bringing it up. And thank you, John, for all of it. This kind of goes in line with, it's kind of a peripheral thing to what you're saying, John. Talk me out of fear, doubt, and unbelief. Because there are those places where no matter what the subject matter, whether it's employees or money or creativity, whatever, there's lots of places where that sneaks in and can just sabotage me.
Right. Is that a new discovery for you, or you've known this for a while?
No, actually, I'm trying to overcome leaving past in the past. So I don't want to,
Okay.
overexpand.
Okay. Well, you're here now, right? So that's good.
I am,
And
yeah.
you
And
know,
I'm
you
all
mentioned,
in too.
well, good. Let's do that. And you mentioned fear and doubt. There's actually an acronym FUD that's used in the business and investing and trading world. FUD stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And it's actually a device of mass media and people who
Yeah.
are looking to manipulate the market, right? So price is going up, price is going down. You're about to lose money, or get in while the getting's good. So that's FUD.
Yeah.
Yeah, we run it on ourselves all the time.
Yes, for sure. And I've shut out all that media stuff because I used to work in it many years ago and saw the
Yeah.
writing on the wall.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but it's that, okay, maybe you could recommend a book. Of course, I don't want to,
I just did.
well, I'm a Christian, I'm in it. And so FUD is, what was the name of the book? Or did you have it?
No, it was just an acronym: fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Right.
Right, but
So,
was there-
in like the investing and trading circles, we'll talk
Yeah.
about, all right, here's some FUD, right? So look at the news, right? Oh, the price of oil, right? So FUD, it's fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Yeah.
So it
But as
goes
far as
back
recommending a
around.
book, I just did. Science Getting Rich.
Oh, that one. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Thank you. So it does come back around to what you're saying, and that is keeping the focus in the right place and dealing with the realities in faith.
Yeah.
Right?
Purpose and faith. If every
Woo!
action you take, you maintain your focus on purpose and faith, it shall be an efficient action, according to Wallace Wattles' Science Getting Rich, 1910.
Right.
And
Thank
if
you.
you do nothing
Sorry, I
but
had to talk
you're-
that out a little bit. Talk me
yeah,
out of
you're
the
welcome.
corner.
Right. I know it was a bit of a rabbit hole we went down, but what Wattles offers is that if every action you take is an efficient one, you must get rich. It's just math at that point, right? Successful action after action after action. Hey, you win. Inefficient action after action, you lose. Have to.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Will there be something in this training to Missy's question that will take us to the next level of organization? I mean, beyond, setting up your files, folders, and, those kinds of things, like that step between here and having a machine like you do, at least in the first stages of the machine like you do. Not, I don't expect it's going to be overnight with where you're at, but is there something that we will find or see or be coached in?
Yeah. Let's take
in
that
those
up on our next section.
organizational levels.
Yeah, let's take that up on our next section. I can give you some tips on that. We're coming towards the top of the hour right now, and Pauline's got her hand up.
thank
Oh, by
you.
the way, guys, I'm on a plane this time tomorrow, like in the air. So what are we going to do? I can pre-record something, or you guys can just kibitz amongst yourself, or you can go watch YouTube replays. What do you think we should do? Anybody?
Pre-record.
What do you have time for?
Watch the
Pre-record is the
replay.
first thing I heard. What do I have time? I don't have time for anything. So
Pre-record.
We'll watch.
pre-record. All right, I'm going to send you guys a
Pre-record.
special message, and I'm going to get one of our accountability reps. Do we have any accountability reps here with us right now? Maybe, possibly, maybe, no. Crap. All right, so I'm going to have to figure out if somebody can come in here and play a video for you guys. All right, so we'll figure that out. But that's my intent, is to give you something tomorrow whilst I'm in the air. Maybe something good.
Yay.
Maybe something
Have a
bad. I don't
great
know. We'll
trip.
find out.
Have a great
Can I
trip.
make a suggestion, John?
Yes. Yes.
You're recording.
Yes.
If you could think of the top 2 things that you have found most useful in these type of groups that you may have been doing for a while,
Mhm.
that found most useful, that for people like us, just 2 things, because people remember 2s and 3s, so it'll be easy for us to remember and take away as well, and actually start doing
Okay.
something like that would really help. Just a suggestion.
Okay. Well, there you go. I'll see if I can come up with 2, not 2.5, not 1.8, 2. Right. That's great. You guys remember Monty Python and the Holy Grail, where they're going and they're going to throw the holy hand grenade at the rabbit, right? This terrible beast. And they were reading from the Book of Armaments, chapter or whatever, and the count shall be 3. It shall not be 4. It should not be 2, except when reading 2 on the way to 3, right? And they're going and going and going and talking and talking and talking about count to 3 before you throw the grenade. Anyway, I love Monty Python. It's so dry and British. I love it. Pauline's got the floor. Then Denny again. And
Yes.
then,
Yeah, thank you, John, and thanks everyone. I've got so much I need to learn. But just what I want to say, I've got to rush off to a meeting. I've got a prayer meeting at 7 o'clock.
Mhm.
So I need to rush off. So I'm gonna have to leave now.
Okay.
And so I'll try and catch up on YouTube.
Oh, well, we're just wrapping up. You're not missing anything. You're all good. Go do your
Okay.
thing. Glad you're here, Pauline. We'll see you again real soon. All
Yeah,
right?
thank you everyone. And Maria, I've got your number. Sent you a message. All right.
Beautiful. Thank you,
Yeah, you
guys.
take care. God bless you
All
all.
right. See you, Pauline.
Yeah, bye.
Very good. Denny, you had another comment? Denny?
Yeah, I know what I'm going to do tomorrow.
What are you gonna do?
Not set the alarm.
Okay. Okay. Very good. All right. And let's see here. Jean-Jacques, you have the floor, sir. Come on out. Jean?
Hello, yes.
Hey.
Hi, how are you? Hello,
Very good.
everyone. I wanted to ask you, as far as for to be able to attend the meetings we have, are we supposed to receive a link from Gail for every day, or yes? Because I'm not getting it.
Well, this session is every Monday through Friday at same time, same link. So no, we're not going to blow up your inbox with 10 million links. But as far as like the accelerator modules with Rachel and myself, yeah, that's doled out over a week or so. So you just you expect that from in your case, Gail is your
Okay.
AR, right? So
Yeah, yes.
and so if there's an out point there, if you're missing something or they're not delivering, then get with. Do you have Gail's number or email or something?
Well, I got it because this is how I got onto the link, because I went to the old link, which was on the 29th, and I jumped on.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna take that up because you're not the only one. We broke the system with the massive influx of new members, yada yada. Anyway, we're having a staff meeting today, and heads are gonna roll. So there's that. All right.
Okay.
So
All
we're
right,
gonna
great.
make sure you got what you need, John. Thank you for
Okay.
being here, brother.
Yep, thank you. Thank you.
All right. Shall we wrap with that? Yes.
Okay.
Oh, someone had put in the chat. Okay, now everybody do this all at the same time, right? FUD off. T-shirt, coffee cup, FUD off. FUDOFF. Nice idea. See that, you guys? You're coming up with like this
Yeah.
product here. Yeah, we're producing right now. All right. How many different designs can you come up with on that? That's an interesting one. Anybody else before we wrap up today? Last call. Last call. All right. We're done. I will see you all, not tomorrow. I'll see you on Friday, but I will have something for you. We'll figure out 2 things, not 1, not 3, but 2 things as per Jayton's demand, not even a request, a demand. Thank you, Jayton. I'll see